I'll look at the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch figure line for the Greedo figure. We're just going to look at the box real quick. It's very elegant and simplistic box art, just like all the other Black Series 6-inch figure line. I'll let you read the back here if you want to. Doesn't mention who shot first, but I think we all know the answer to that. I'll just do a quick unboxing here to show you. These figures in the Black Series come out of the boxes really easily. There's not a whole lot of packaging to worry about, which is nice. And Greedo comes out especially easily because there is really only one accessory, and that is the blaster. And to get the figure out, there's no real elegant solution, just gotta pop them. And there you go. And then for the blaster, same thing. This pops out. It's kind of stuck in a little hole right there in the side, holds it in. And there you have it. Now, overall, this is a very nice sculpt. I would have liked to have seen a little more weathering on the face. In the movie, Greedo has a lot of different tones in his face. There's some yellows, some other shades of green. One complaint that I've seen people have, and the biggest one in general with the sculpt, is probably the eyes. They're a lot more oblong than in the films. They're also a little more silvery and shiny instead of kind of that deep purple glassy look. From the bottom, they still look pretty good, but straight on, they're pretty oblong looking. But overall, it's still a nice figure. There is some weathering on the actual garments on the body. I don't know how well that'll show up right here, but not great with the overhead light. There we go. You can see more of it on his pants. So they've taken time to add some of those details in. There are a few slightly conspicuous joints, like here on the side of the knee. These are double jointed knees, which are really nice for the amount of articulation they give you. The elbows just have a single hinge on them, and the hands rotate here at the wrists, and they also go back and forth as well. Same way over here, hand goes in and out. The head is on kind of a ball up there, so go up and down, left, right, variety of different looks. The shoulder joints are hidden pretty well. This jacket is actually a separate accessory. It'd be pretty hard to get off, but it is a loose piece on him. So that hides the shoulder joint pretty well. The shoulders go up and down, forward, back, all around. Pretty much your standard ball joint there. The legs, like I mentioned, the knees are double jointed knees, so that gives quite a bit of movement. And then the feet, like all the other 6-inch Black Series figures that I've seen so far, the feet go both forward and back, and they can swivel side to side. So that gives you a lot of possibilities when you're sticking the leg further out in a pose. You can still keep the foot level to the ground, which is really nice. Now, there is only one accessory with this figure. It is a blaster. So we can get this to focus here. It's nicely done. There's a little bit of weathering difference on there, so you've got some kind of faded, silvery looking coloring on it. And there's some pretty good details. The handle, I don't know if that's going to focus. There we go. So you can see they've done a pretty good job spending some time on this. It is fairly bendy. It's not a real hard piece of plastic. I mean, you could bend it pretty far over. his right hand is a trigger hand. If I could get it to seat in there correctly. His finger's already positioned. There you go. Be able to hold that blaster really nicely. And then you've got the holster on the side, which the holster and the belt are also removable accessories, so I guess you could count that as an accessory if you wanted to. But the blaster does fit very nicely into that holster. All in all, it's a very nice sculpt. Definitely one to get if you're a fan of this new 6-inch black series. It's been one of my favorite series of figures in a long time. And now I'm going to show you a comparison just size-wise of a few other figures in the series too. Alright, so here's Greedo next to the Sandtrooper and the X-Wing pilot Luke and everybody's favorite astromech droid, R2. You can see that Greedo's a little on the tall side really. I've got him kind of in a spread-legged pose, and he's still a decent bit taller than Luke. Now Luke's a little short anyway, but from what I read, Greedo actually comes in a little bit taller than Han Solo, so that's not quite accurate. You know, in the movies, I think Greedo probably came up to, I don't know, his ears were probably about Solo's eye level, so if that bugs you, that's just something to keep in consideration scale-wise. There's a couple of other articulation points that I always forget to mention when I'm doing these. Never fails, I leave out a couple because there are just so many, but just to go over them real quick, a couple things I didn't show too. You've got articulation in the waist. You've also got the legs, the hips are kind of a ball joint there. They've actually got just one peg in them they swivel on, and then the thighs themselves also rotate right here. So those are just a few other articulation points to be aware of. I do find that this is a little harder to pose than some of the other figures, partly I think just because of how loose the joints on my particular figure were. It's also a little top heavy with that head for whatever reason. So, but all in all, a very nice figure sculpt, and definitely one I would add to my collection if I was looking to get all the good looking 6-inch figures. So there you go.